Okay everyone, we have some exciting news over at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Track has finally arrived for West Coast racers. We've been waiting a long time for this day to come, but it's finally here. Only a couple pieces have arrived, but now we know that most, if not all, the track fabrication is complete. This project has faced multiple delays, but it finally looks like things are in full swing. In these shots here, crews were unloading a truck that contained both yellow and white pieces. These track pieces seem to be for the station and the launch portions of the ride. These are very thin pieces of track, and they resemble the brake and launch portions found on Full Throttle. These won't be any of the twists and turns found during the ride. In this truck alone, there was maybe 5 pieces that were unloaded. The park received the first shipment the day before this was taken on April 11th. They are being laid out on the overflow parking lot across from Feed Mill Road. Out of all the thin track pieces, there was this one larger looking piece. Comment down below what you think this piece will be for. This is just the beginning of the track deliveries. Pretty soon this whole parking lot is going to be full of yellow and white track. There's also the black supports sitting on the lots that have yet to be installed. By the looks of it, it seems like all the supports have been delivered to the park, as they are sitting on the 3 overflow lots. In the backstage portion of the park, the trains for West Coast racers are currently being stored here. They are the blue covered looking box behind the gray container on the right. We can also see some of the other stuff they got stored back here, like the Cyclone trains, an X2 train, and the 4th Viper train. Over at the actual construction site for West Coast racers, they have started to pour footers in the concrete river that runs in front of Apocalypse. This is where the 2nd and 4th launches will be. We also got some retracking action going on for Apocalypse. The whole turn around the queue has been retracked. We'll have to wait and see which other portions have been retracked, although from the looks of it, the park just did this one area. And here's an overhead look at the site. They were hard at work drilling holes around the go-kart track area. After all the footers are poured, I'm not sure how long it's going to take for the concrete to properly settle. It could be weeks before we see vertical construction start, but who knows. They've actually done a good job at keeping the go-kart track intact. I was sure they'd have to partially demolish it for the construction. It's still early on, so lots of things are still to come. The footers that were first poured are now complete, and if you look closely you can see the launch footers and then 2 footers that are taller than the others. This is most likely going to be the transfer track placed after the station rather than before like on most coasters. I wonder if it's going to be a single or dual transfer track, because on Full Throttle there's only one, although West Coast Racers has 3 trains, so there might be 2. That's just about it for West Coast Racers. Now let's take a look at what's going on around the rest of the park. Heading in from the parking lot, I was greeted with new banners along the walkway. They are still the Crazanity banners, but they don't say opening spring 2018 anymore. It's strange that the park chose not to advertise their new coaster instead. Could this be an indication that the park has no idea when West Coast Racers will open? In the entrance plaza, there were workers on top of the Ticket Wilcaw building doing some kind of renovations. It could be fixes to the roof or air conditioning repairs. Full Throttle Nights is returning for the summer of 2019, and the park is busy reinstalling the light, fog, and fire effects back onto the stage structure. It looks like they've added even more lights to this year's setup, but we'll have to wait and see after they're all done. With spring break crowds present, the park has decided to run one of their most popular coasters with one train. The 2nd Full Throttle train is on the storage track, and we are not sure if it's heading off to refurbishment or is in need of a repair. Either way, it's unfortunate that this ride will be operating like this for a while. And then there were reports of this entire walkway in front of Bugs Bunny World getting repaved. Unfortunately, upon further inspection, the park just repainted over the cracks with green paint. Tidal Wave and Roaring Rapids have reopened after their winter closures. It's great to see these 2 rarely operating water rides back open, especially with Jetstream now under refurbishment. Lastly, the park added these rails in front of the Soda Springs Shack by the entrance to Tatsu. This appears to be an attempt to prevent the line from spilling into the walkway on busy days. Well, that's just about it for this update. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.